Hello, Valpo, and welcome back to a late Tuesday evening. But for those of you watching League of Legends, you're used to it. My name is Monsieur, and joining me as a co-caster in the booth.
I'm Vector.
And with that being said, let's get a quick look right into the game. So this week, Valpo is facing up against the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And with that, we have some quick picking bands to see. Vector, what do you, as you kind of look through them, anything that looks surprising?
We're banning Draven. That's a champion. I think those super aggressive bot lanes is a place we struggle a little bit. And then we're going to see Udyr and Fiddlesticks banned. So I think they're expecting that the uh, Las Vegas jungler is going to pick some kind of carry here, which is another thing Valpo struggles with is carry junglers.
And yeah, it always gets it feels like when we see those carry jungles, they can get a little bit out of hand. But we are going to see at the last second of UNLV is going to pick the Jinx. For those of you who don't know, almost every time Valpo will usually between Aurora, Ziggs, and Zach, and we only see the Syndra ban this time, and wanting to ban out Diadem's Jinx as their final pick. But Valpo is going to lock Aurora. Aurora I know is played by both the Dreadful and Jakimbo, so good flex pick between the
Powerful
top and mid.
flex.
And we're gonna see how UNLV responds. They're gonna respond with the Varus pick. Kind of interesting to not. I guess if you don't know where it's going, but still, I feel
Yeah,
like
I,
you would
th- I
want to.
think that's going to be ADC most likely.
I don't know. Maybe I'm like losing touch. Maybe we're losing touch a little bit because it's already so late. But I feel like when someone shows the champion, you usually want to like pick a champion that goes against that you know at least a late that it goes against.
Karthus. Well,
This
this is
is
going to be a good one. This is
this
going
is
to be a good one. Let me tell you.
watching. Yeah, Karthus Requiem can turn the tide of maybe not a fully complete dive and finishing it up, especially once Karthus gets malignance and starts getting an item or two. He'll start be doing a lot of damage, and Valpo's carries are going to be able to have a hard time staying alive because there is going to have to be a lot of shielding and healing going on in order for those to be protected. We are going to see Super Bear's patented pick that is almost that doesn't usually see the light of day with the Zac pick, and then we're gonna see the Ezreal pick. So far it looks like really a good mixture of both AP and AD and some sort of engagement from Valpo.
Comfort picks. I will say Poppy kind of sucks to see, considering we just locked in Zach.
I was gonna say Poppy's still way too strong right now in the meta. I know, just again one of the best junglers and can be filled in as a top lane. If you're crazy, you can see her as a support. But again, Poppy being really strong in all areas of gameplay. But with that being said, we're going to see the second round of pick and bans. We are going to see UNLV choose the Nautilus, trying to ban out the law, um, or could be banning out Dread Nautilus top, but I haven't seen that. We haven't seen Nautilus top in a hot second. Valpo is hovering the Tristana pick here. Again, would be nice to see again Tristana's ability to reset with her W, engage or disengage with her W, and then it getting it getting refreshed when the bomb is when her E explosive charge is finished. But we are going to finally see the Camille ban, the final ban from UNLV. So with the final picking ban here, Vector, what do you think we need to see on what do we want to see on Valpo, and what do you think we're going to see respond with UNLV?
Well, uh, I mean, I think we can guess that Karthus is probably going to be going jungle, right? Like, I don't think Karthus gets really played anywhere else unless you're Tyler One. Um, Poppy's probably jungle or support. Do you think Vars Poppy's a good lane? Probably. Oh yeah, good point.
We
Good
just
point. Karthus has got to be jungle. Poppy's got to be support.
unless it's Poppy top.
Unless
Well,
it's
nope.
unless it's Orn, unless it's Orn support.
we're we're having a little bit of a late night in the booth here, but we're going to see the UNLV choose the Orn. Feels a little personal call. I feel a little resonance with this one. From the two games that I've been able to play in the series so far, I've picked Orn both times. Orn's been a super good champion. So UNLV is going to respond that we are going to see the Seraphine pick from
That's
the
weird. That's weird. He might have been replaced by an alien.
we saw Seraphine a little while in the Cleary game, which was really good to see. I didn't realize Seraphine was super strong as a support until recently. I haven't seen her a lot in my either practice games or just for fun games. But we are going to see the final pick be the Yone here. So is this Aurora top Yone mid or Yone top Aurora mid?
Well, I think we'll find out in a second. They could easily still just be switching around.
Or maybe just throw us all for a loop on this like kind of on this tired Tuesday, and we'll just see Zach mid.
Yeah, that's a fun strategy though to go flex mid, flex top is 2 picks, so you don't really know either way. Jace, I would guess Jace is gonna be top. No, Jace is mid. Jace is okay. It's gonna be Varus, Poppy bot lane,
Garth is jungle.
Karthus jungle, Jace mid lane, Ornn top lane, and Valpo is going to put Yone top lane, Aurora mid lane.
Okay, I trust your judgment. Right, both of these drafts have been already somehow we're already starting to draft a little interesting here. With that being said, Richard, is there anything else you want to notice to the anything else you want to talk about for the final draft of game one?
Um, yeah, I don't know. I think this is gonna be a longer game. Not a ton of these champions have any sort of early game power. I guess the closest thing is probably Zach.
So Valpo and UNLV are going to keep us in here for a long one, but we do have to introduce our starters for today. It's been the classic Valpo setup. On top lane you have Dreadful, Jungle, Super Bear, mid Jakimbo, ADC Diadem, and rounding it out is the Law on support. But with that being said, again, Vector, I completely agree with you. We are going to be probably looking at around a 30, I would say 33 to
40-minute
38.
banger.
We
A
and
banger.
anything can happen as soon as you get past 30 minutes. One good team fight, one bad team fight, one bad call. Tides can turn into change. So, with that being said, the first game of Alpha versus UNLV is about to get underway. But give us a few minutes just to get ready, and we will catch you soon with Game 1. Thanks, Beacons.
Welcome back, Beacons, for Game 1 of our series versus University of Nevada, Las Vegas. We're here after a short little delay at the start of the game where there was a communications issue between the microphones and the Valpo Esports roster, but things seem to be working all right now.
As soon as you say they seem to be working, it does seem like the client decided to had the buffer for just a
Oh,
second.
but it's okay. I mean, they're just a small indie company, right? Games.
Riot Games, the small indie company. So we are going to see the final. We are going to see the final picks here, and it was what you said earlier, Vector. We see Dreadful in the top lane, Super Bear, Kimbo, Diadem in the law on Yone, Zach, Aurora, Ez, and Seraphine, and then we see on the other end the Ornn, Karthus, Jace, Varus, Poppy. Here, while we wait for the first second, because there's no action going on right now, is it Varus or Varus?
Varus. I've always said Varus.
Varus. So it's like a pirate. Varus. Argus. Mary. I don't know what I'm. All right. All right. With that, with me not being able to say champions' names correctly, like part 7, we are going to see something interesting to note here is that Varus started with a longsword instead of Doran's blade.
Karthus didn't buy a potion. He's that guy. He's that guy. I can tell this guy's a sick in the head freak.
That's
of
correct.
Nature.
For not buying, just because he
For
didn't
not
buy
buying a potion.
All right, the law does miss. His law does miss the first enhanced Q. We are going to see that Dreadful and Ornn
Dreadful's getting beat up.
Watching other people play Ornn, so fun. When I'm playing Ornn, no thank you. It's a
What's
great
wrong with Ornn?
No, I like playing Ornn.
I like playing Ornn too.
Like it feels like I'm just not good enough with him yet, and then we watch everyone else. We are going to see though that that University of Nevada is going to take their the level 2 lead in the bot lane.
If we look here though, on that last little exchange between Ornn and Yone, did you see how Ornn popped W and now Yone's running away?
Yeah.
That's because he has the brittle proc on him. Like if you just, because you don't want to get brittle proc on you. It's very, very strong. It does so much damage. It does a little CC. So I think from your gameplay on Saturday, the biggest thing would be like be proactive about your brittle procs.
Be assertive in the brittle proc.
It's not just like a seasoning. It's part of the dish.
It's an entree. We are gonna see speaking of entrees, we are gonna see that Poppy is gonna be leaving the bot lane with Valpo coming, or at least pinging that Poppy is nowhere to be seen. Poppy is gonna look like she's gonna head towards some of Karthus' jungle.
Karthus back to buy a Dark Seal with the extra 50. Dark Seal and Spellbook with that extra 50 gold. I told you that's a sick in the head freak of nature.
Going all in. We do see though that Dreadful and Dreadful has taken his first back already. Jakimbo chunking him out. Jakimbo chunking the chase out.
Here comes Zach with a steel chair.
And not being able to find full purchase. But it does look like we could have potential 3v3 going up in the mid top lane. As Karthus is gonna look to Karthus to secure the scuttle. With that being said, it does look like Zach might be moving towards bot lane to get the enemy scuttle in preparation for the upcoming dragon.
Because look, when Dreadful walks up, he's gonna get W'd. If he walks up any closer, he's gonna get W'd, and it's gonna hurt. So that's why he's keeping his distance, is because he doesn't want to get hit by that W. Yep. Now he's got to run away. Because that's a grass proc for Ornn.
That's a lot of.
Because look, that's like a third of his health gone.
Just from.
Essentially one grapple, brittle proc, and 1 Q.
We are gonna see Jakimbo absolutely starting to chunk out.
Oh, he's got no mana. Oh,
but Super Bear stayed in, and we're gonna see Jace try to look like they get out something, but Aurora and Jakimbo are gonna find the first blood of the game. UNLV thought that Zach was gone, but Zach decided to guac around a little bit longer.
Just guacking around. I like that one.
But with that being said, that's going to put Valpo in a really good spot as between the CS and that, we are going to see that now Valpo will be starting to take control of the mid wave, which is absolutely huge for making early plays in this game. We are gonna see that Karthus is gonna look to try to start negating some camps from Zach, but Karthus getting absolutely chunked out by Aurora there. Again, Aurora not at the point where she can solo Bolo yet, but she could definitely do some good damage.
Orange just stood there and whipped up what is that one?
Rockmail? Thornmail? Not Thornmail.
Stone plate something, maybe?
Some rock.
The one that gives you a bunch of gargoyle stone plate, or is that a full item? Gargoyles is the full item.
I think it just means like rock plate.
Warden's Mail. Something like that.
Thank you. It is Warden's Mail. Yeah, Warden's Mail does just chunk it. It just does flat damage reduction. So especially early game, it's really good
against those auto attacks.
We are going to see that D-Dub is going to be dodging pretty well and actually holding his own pretty well in the solo wave, especially as the Law was up top trying to help prepare for the first round of grubs. We are going to see that Valpo is going to finish taking all 3 grubs, and with that being about a 500 gold lead in both in terms of CS and in terms of that first blood kill. But we are going to see that UNLV is going to immediately respond by taking the first dragon. So again, all in all, pretty even. We are going to see Zach try to go in for another engage here. Jace does still have his flash. He's not going to need to use it here. But again, assisting Jakimbo in establishing lane dominance.
Is Jakimbo level 6?
Jakimbo is level 6.
I'm surprised we didn't see him ult there.
I think that he thought that Jace. I think he may have think that Jace could have flashed it, but even then, there's some reason.
Is it a projectile?
I think so. Well, the field itself isn't, but you can flash out of it.
Oh, you can?
I believe so. Yeah,
I assumed that flashing would just take you to the other side.
No, which makes it kind of balanced at the end of the day.
Because you can't flash out a Camille ult. I flash out a Mortal.
I think you. I want to say that you can flash out of it.
That is a giant minion wave. But Poppy's here. Oh my goodness gracious! They're out to get him. It's a setup.
But that is going to mean that Jakimbo does find it. However, the extra gold does go to Poppy.
That's good.
By itself, an extra kill on Poppy is not bad. Again, you do not want to.
Poppy players and kill stealing. Name a more iconic duo.
I'll wait. But with that being said, something we did want to point out here in the booth is D-Dem, especially in his premier season of being in the ADC role, is keeping pace with Norware and Seacan, the Varus and the Poppy. So with that, again, great work on Diadem's part here.
Oh, Diadem back to just needed to cancel his. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is a big communications mishap from Valpo here. Because I think the Law wanted to go in there, which honestly was a good play to go in there, because if the two of them had both been there, that would have been a dead Varus. But they just did not coordinate that properly, and the Law needed to burn Flash as a result.
Oh!
I'm about to hear about this game at the apartment.
I was gonna say that is the absolute last frame that you can see. We are gonna see that Karthus is gonna be also roaming down, looking for a potential full collapse on Diadem here. Diadem does have both summoners up, so he could look to avoid this. Poppy is gonna land, but we're gonna start seeing some damage done. We're gonna see the Diadem on. We're gonna see the trade there. We're gonna see the trade ADC for ADC here. Not necessarily a bad thing, but however, that wave is pushing up, and with an extra turret plating going, that is a success. That is a net positive for UNLV. We are gonna see
this is a big. He's beating that guy up.
We're seeing some major damage here by Dreadful. Ornn did miss the return on the ultimate, especially using it for the 1v1, which was interesting as we see that Void Grubs are up in 30 seconds. So Ornn will not, if Valpo decides to fight right when Void Grubs spawn. There will not be Orin's ultimate will not be available, while Dreadful's looks like it might just be off of cooldown.
Is Karthus at a full item right now?
Yes, he is with
What is that purple
Blackfire
thing?
Torch. Blackfire Torch.
Ew.
It is It's kind of. It is basically gives you a whole bunch of AP and then a little bit of mana. And what it does is, for every champion that is concurrently affected by Baleful Torch's ability, it gives 4% extra ability power.
So that's really crazy when Karthus.
It's crazy on multi-value targets, yeah.
Yeah,
so
so when Karthus
Lilia,
ults and hits all the enemies on the map,
it does really good.
that gives you 20% extra AP. This, oh my god.
And Diadem just
My
not
God.
Diadem the Poppy stun and then also immediately all is going to mean that Diadem is.
I thought he was going to make it out of that, to be honest, or at least Poppy was going to die, but Varus just popped him like a balloon.
It does hurt if you're a Valpo fan, especially now that we are seeing Varus has gotten 3 out of the 4 kills. 3 out of the 4 kills this game, and is now up around 1,300 gold. However, not to count Valpo out of the race before it started, we are seeing that Valpo does have all 6 Void Grubs up and could look for potential play here to counter that dragon. To counter the dragon. We are going to see the Karthus is going to throw down the W, trying to slow down Jakimbo and get some extra Q procs down, but not being able to find purchase. We are going to see that Jakimbo is also the first. Never mind. Dreadful was the first one to hit 100 CS in a wave. We're going to see the Karthus ult probably just ensuring to force Jakimbo that he is going to have to back here, and not allowing them for a full take. And it does look like Beppo is going to give the second dragon here, as both Mountain and Chemtech are given to UNLV. Or UNLV, my apologies.
I don't know. This is a little hairy. This is a little hairy. Valpo's not too far behind in gold, about 1,400. The worst thing ever, but UNLV does scale really hard. Arthas, that guy's kind of a beast late game.
He is, but also I think this is something to be said about the Seraphine here. Oh, we are going to see a lot of stuff gets committed, and Varus is able to find another pick onto Seraphine here. And with more turret plating gold and the wallets of Varus getting a little bit higher, we are going to see that Jace is not going to be able to get that second plating that he wanted. But with that being said, I think that Valpo might be looking to rotate here, especially with the wave not looking so good. We are going to see Super Bear. Jace is going to dodge Super Bear's ability, and with Poppy coming in, it does look like it could be potential. It is a potential 3v4 in the top lane. We are going to see though Jakimbo is going to throw down the ultimate. Varus
can he get him?
Varus
Yes.
does show that you can flash over over an Aurora ult,
result.
but you're not going to be able. To find anything. And
and Varus' team is flaming him with the barrier spam things. Karthus thinks that Varus should have used barrier there. I'm not sure how much that would have helped. But
and nor does anyone on Valpo's team see this. This is for our eyes only, chat.
I guess that I think Karthus is a villain. Mike is a villain.
I was to say you've already told us that he's been a villain in front that he didn't buy a potion.
This guy's a villain.
He started as a villain.
An evil super villain.
And actually, Vector, I want to get your opinions because I would believe that the would Yone beat out Ornn early game, or
I would say not so much early game, but mid game. If Ornn needs to just finish his Sunfire like he's backing now, and then he needs to get Thornmail. He needs to get Thornmail or like a Bramble Vest, and that'll help. But I mean, once he finishing Sunfire will be a pretty big step for him.
We are gonna. Thank you for that comment. I still have to figure out my own ways for what works for everyone. Ornn is gonna start getting chased down here, taking some pretty significant chunks of damage. The W not being able to find purchase on Dreadful, as he's just able to kind of really sink his blade into Ornn. With that being said, we are going to see Jakimbo's ult is almost ready. Super is caught on vision, so he's not going to be able to get a good engage here, and also especially with the Poppy ability to counter Super Bear's engage. With that being said, though, we do see that Poppy is clearing the vision in the Rift Herald, probably preparing for a Rift Herald take. Jakimbo does get picked off by the EQ of the Jace. But with this being said, we see four people top lane looking to take the Rift Herald here, and looks like ULNV or University of Nevada, Las Vegas is communicating that a lot of Valpo is missing off the map right now. And
Valpo also does have 6 grubs, which is kind of a silver lining on this little bit of a dark start to this game for Valpo.
I agree, and with that, Jason's not gonna be able to find the purchase on that ability, and Jakimbo is really showing the damage that the Aurora can do. I think Jakimbo must know that he's in the base. And with Karthus being in his blue side, it does look like Valpo is just going to be able to take this relatively for free. Now, again, something that we have talked about before. Oh, we're going to see Jakimbo take a lot of damage here.
Oh, he's done.
Jakimbo is going to throw down the ultimate, and Jakimbo is going to fall to the Karthus ult, which would have been the difference. The Karthus ult was the difference there.
I mean, I hope Ezreal hits him in this bush. This seems like a missed opportunity from Valpo. Throw the Ezreal into the bush, get the kill on the item. That would have been nice. But I mean, we do have like the omnipotent view, so it's a little bit easier to say.
And again, if it's something that's also something that could have been communicated. But with that being said, we are going to see though that University of Nevada, Las Vegas is going to take the first tower. Which is going to strengthen their gold lead to just around 3,400. Still not horrible, but definitely this Poppy is definitely making things super hard on Super, trying to find ways to engage. We are going to see that Ornn is going to W, trying to clear the wave. Dreadful is just going to continue to get a good bit of chip damage on Ornn, but it does look like that. It does look like Nevada, Las Vegas is going to be.
I mean, look at that damage from that brittle proc into knockup. That's so much damage.
I have to agree with you. This, again, I will take this under consideration as I'm using my practice tool and practicing for the upcoming week. We are going to see that Dreadful is going to look to probably again try to get some more turret damage. Not going to be able to find a proc on the brittle stack from Ornn. With that being said, the next dragon is Nevada's soul point, and with it being Infernal Soul, that extra damage is going to be coming in handy. It's definitely not what you want to see if you're a Valpo fan. We are going to see that Diadem is going to continue to hit his Qs and continue to poke it out. Dreadful is really looking to try to take the tower here, and not nearly, again, continuing a little wail. Those 6 scrubs helping immensely with the slow little away. We are going to see though that Karthus is going to finish clearing his outside. We are going to see that Jakimbo is going to take some major damage here.
That's brutal. That is just, I mean, good comms from Las Vegas here.
You hate to see it, and with that, there's no one being able to respond now to Jace's abilities. Which should mean that the second tower might fall, but we are going to see that Super is going to look to try to make. Super was going to look for maybe a potential engage here. Jace is going to be able to find that tower being destroyed, which is going to continue with the gold increase. We are going to see that the Poppy's not in the right spot. Seraphine does charm for him. Diadem is able to find the poke onto the Varus. While not being able to find purchase, as we see the Ezreal is able to pick up that second kill with the Dreadful TP to ensure that that team fight goes well. And with that, I think we're going to see that Valpo is going to overload the mid lane as they are going to take their first turret of the game. And with the Rift Herald, we can see a potential 2 turrets being taken here.
We actually do have top turret right now.
They do have top turret. We're going to see 2 mid turrets taken, for that being a total of 3. But yeah, we have 4 people coming in, and Karthus has no ult, so
look how many little voidlings there are right now.
His ability is going to be helpful. It's going to be much diminished. We might actually see the Herald be taken in for a 3rd. And
oh no, he's going the wrong way. He's going the wrong way.
We're going to see the Law pilot it the way out.
Where's he going?
He's taking Shelly
Where
on
is
an
he
adventure.
going?
He's taking Shelly on an adventure. And that adventure
Oh,
does.
hello, Shelly.
And we are going to see the Varus is going to pick up the epic minion kill to get the extra 50 gold. Vision is starting to be established by Las Vegas in preparations for the upcoming Baron. Maybe, with that being said, though, Valpo was able to make an absolutely amazing play, bringing him right back into the game. Gold lead being shrunk to just under 2,500. And with that being said, taking a quick look at the CS differences across the board, Yone ahead just 3 CS over Ornn. Ornn doing a really good job to neutralize that matchup. And Ornn hitting level 13 does have his masterwork item now. Zac is down around 50 CS compared to the Karthus, but that's kind of to be expected with how fast Karthus clear can be. Jakimbo basically tied in the mid wave. Diadem down around 20 CS in the bot lane. Overall, UNLV having slight advantages in most lanes, but especially with Nevada losing their mid pressure pretty significantly with the tier 1 and tier 2 being broken. It does look like Valpo is gonna look to claim dominance over Vision. I don't know if Valpo knows that is Warden or not.
I mean, it's a little more stable than it was a couple minutes ago, I think. Valpo did. And we're grouping around for the dragon here in 40 seconds. So, I mean, I think it's gonna be a good one in a second here.
If Valpo knows that Jace is nearby, oh, I say we are gonna see the chunk from the Law. The Law getting chunked slightly. The Super is gonna not ult over the wall, go over the wall, trying to prepare Vision. We are gonna see though that this is going to be a 5v5 fight for this dragon.
I mean, this is what happens in 5v5.
We're seeing the Karthus Requiem, and we're not going to see the W come out from the Law to try to help.
Oh, Diadem's out of position. He's so low. I mean, this is what happens when Karthus is on the enemy team before a team fight. Like, the Law's doing his best to heal up his team before this, but, like, you start the fight off at half health already. That's just, like...
And this does mean that you're going to concede some pressure. We also do have to... Oh, we are going to see
there
the
goes Valpo. Layering
Ornn.
CC into the middle of the team. Oh, Jace is running around in the back line.
But Dreadful Spirit Form being in the back, able to secure that. That's not going to happen.
Oh,
we're gonna see this. We're gonna see the Zac ult doing a lot of damage, being able to ensure that he's still alive. Dreadful's going on the Karthus, but again, the Karthus is gonna be able to do some major damage here.
Back up.
Jakimbo is gonna let the flash extend for that triple kill on the Varus. Jakimbo is going to fall to the Poppy. But that is going to be a net positive for Valpo Esports taking their first dragon, and again helping to cinch that gold lead down to just under 2,500, and giving Jakimbo a huge influx of gold that he desperately needed.
Wow, that was quite the fight. I was on the edge of my seat for that one, because that could easily have gone either way. I mean, really props to Dreadful during that fight, putting on a ton of pressure in the front line early, snapping back to help his teammates in the back line when they were getting jumped on by the Jace, finding the Ornn, helping stun the Karthus. I mean, Dreadful put in a ton of heavy lifting that fight.
I have to agree, and it's something I think it was Super Bear or Seraphine, one of the two, that was able to hit the stun on the Ornn before he was able to launch the second half of his ability. We are going to see though that Ornn is hit level 14, and that is going to be a masterwork item being given to Jace. I would have given it to the Varus here.
I would have given it to the Karthus.
He has a lot of decent options, but again,
the Karthus is kind of carrying. The numbers say that Varus is carrying, but like about a minute ago when Karthus pressed when Karthus pressed R before that team fight, that was just so much damage.
Chunking Valpo out by just around half.
What happened to Jace there?
I don't know. On our for our end, Valpo fans, you see that we had a very quick disconnect reconnect, but not really too much. I don't know if we don't know anything else right now. We're gonna see again. Orin is gonna be clearing that vision, and Aurora is forced to be there. Jimbo being down a decent bit on CS, but again with all the kills, he is pretty consistent on his gold. Valpo is gonna start condensing that lead down to just around 2,200. Again, you don't love to see a deficit, but the deficit is slowly closing, which is good on Valpo for being able to, even in a not necessarily great spot, being able to realize that what they need to do in order to get back into the game, in order to get the lead in the game. I shouldn't say get back in because they are not out by any means.
Yeah, this is they're not super far behind, but you don't want to be even a little far behind going into a late game with a team comp on the other side that looks like this. Like Jace kind of falls off really late, but I mean Varus, Ornn, Karthus,
Even Poppy a little
Poppy,
bit.
all of them getting an Ornn item. Like that's scary. You don't want to see that.
As I say, speaking of Ornn items, Ornn does hit level. This is Ornn's level 15 here. So if Ornn is smart here, he's going to try to give him He's going to give a masterwork item to either Karthus or the Varus.
I think Karthus is going to finish his death cap and then get that upgraded. I think that's the plan. Because he's got those two. What are the needlessly large rods?
Yeah.
Double
rod.
That's what those are. He's got 2 rods. He needs what, 1,200 gold or something?
Yep. We are
How
going to see
much AP does Rabadon's give?
I think it's 120 and it's
That's
an
what I
extra
thought.
30 now. Because I know it was 140 because both gave 70, but I think that it dropped a little bit.
So those Karthus ults pre-fight are about to hurt a lot more.
With that being said, we are going to see that people are going to continue to are going to back from UNLV in preparation for this fight. We see that again. Ornn has 2 items working on the Spectre's Cowl, working on Kanix now. Karthus again working on that death cap. Jace on his third. Jace has already completed his 3rd item. Varus has already completed his 3rd item. And we are going to see though that Yone is going to be able to find a pick. Yone is going to be able to find the pick on the tower. Again, continuing to get a little bit more gold in the Valpo's pocket. Again, shrinking the gold lead to just around 1,600. Again, if you're a Valpo fan, this is turning out to be a little bit of a longer game, but for Valpo, this is turning out good as they're able to get their gold back in terms of CS and in terms of some other stuff. With this being said, though, it does look like we're having a lot of comms around Dragon. That's going to be up in around 20 seconds. It does look like that this is going to be the objective that people are fighting for. Or we could see that UNLV is going to trade a dragon part for Baron, which would not necessarily be a horrible trade here. But with that, we're going to see that Karthus is going to be clearing vision. It does look like that it is going to be an objective race. Karthus they are going to start the Baron, but with them having tried to apply pressure towards the dragon, this
Karthus ult just. When that Karthus ult hits, like, oh, Dreadful's TPing from top lane, and oh no,
we are gonna see the Aurora. Dreadful's gonna be able to flash through the W. The Jace is gonna be able to find the damage that he needs. Diadem is trying to do damage here, but not being able to find too much here. Jakimbo and the Law not in a good position here.
What is the TP? Oh, he TP'd to one of the blobs?
Jakimbo's TP to Zach to keep him alive. But that is going to be a very net positive for Nevada, Las Vegas, as they were able to get the Baron and also pick a kill on Dreadful.
I think that TP was just a little overzealous from Dreadful.
It was a good idea, but needed a
slightly tweaked execution for that one.
And also, I would like to have seen why. This will be something in VOD review that will need to happen. But I saw that Diadem and Jakimbo had to enter through the back lines.
Yep.
I'd want to know what was causing them to be zoned out from that fight, because it looked like that was the major difference between picking up at least a few other kills.
Could easily have been the Jace. He's been way up in Valpo's face this game.
That is fair. There was just a lot of stuff going on, but that is something that'll probably be VOD reviewed. But even never mind. I'm not even gonna say that thought out loud. But we are gonna see though that with that UNLV
Yeah,
now
look at that.
has
That's what I thought. That upgraded death cap.
very strong. Again, it's more AP across the board. Gonna do numbers.
They're up to 4 Orn items.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With Varus now getting the upgraded Yomumus. Now they are just called the masterwork of like Yomumus. It's no longer like the super
They don't have
fancy
cool
name.
names.
I wish.
That's literally the lamest thing I've heard in a long time.
I know. I'm like
That is so lame.
I loved being at like you had Rebidon's death cap and
Now
it was
I'm mad.
like,
Now I'm mad.
I know it's in arena. It was like Wooglets was like fancy death. Was like the fancy cap.
I'm mad now. That's so dumb. That's so dumb.
I was like, it does look like we might see. We are gonna see that Dreadful is gonna look for an ultimate
he's
here on
going
the
for
Jace.
it. Oh god, but he's about to
He's gonna
explode.
get shot. Oh, but he's not gonna die. But whoa!
What? What? What?
I'm not missing the collector item.
What just happened?
It looked like he was at 25%. DNF is going to get chunked out pretty severely. Poppy does look like trying to find an ult here, but not being able to find purchase. The Las Vegas.
I'm just confused. Like, I don't know what to. I'm still hung up on what happened to Dreadful there. Like, why did he die?
But we are going to see though that while Super is able to get the pick off, we are going to see that the Valpo's bot lane turret is going to be taking pretty severe damage, and also their mid lane turret taking some pretty severe damage as they are getting sieged pretty severely. The gold from Nevada is going to be right around 6,000 here. Orn trying to find the purchase on Jakimbo, not being able to do much. We see the four-person charm come out from the Law. Orn is going to ult and find purchase on 2 people, but it's not going to be enough as the Law is able to secure the kill, meaning that 3 members of UNLV are going to go down as with the siege. But a lot of damage was caused of Valpo's base in this moment, which is going to cause super minions to spawn in the mid wave, giving Valpo a much needed boost in golden experience, but also forcing someone to have to pretty consistently respond to those mid waves, so that those minions aren't going to continue to do more damage.
They're going to try and push out as hard as they can here with Dragon coming up in 50 seconds.
And it does look like everyone will be up once again for that Dragon, and there is no other objective up on base. Again, the two Infernal Drakes on Valpo's and doing a pretty decent job at helping to give them extra stats and also preventing them from getting on Karthus. Again, that's extra ability and the extra ability power really going to be doing numbers, would do numbers if it was on Karthus. We are going to see the Jace back as it probably looks like he has either going to sell Doran's Blade for the rest of his item or at least buy another big component, and he is going to buy Edge of Night, so giving I guess a once per fight spell shield annul, which is gonna do numbers for him. We're gonna see that Jason's gonna push topside. He is level 18, and it looks like he is gonna be TP'd in for this. He is gonna be TP'd in here as the dragon is spawning. It does look like that UNLV is gonna be trying to rush this mid, but they are gonna be able to find Valpo is gonna be able to find that they are going to take Dragon pretty easily. Jakimbo is pumping out the Poppy, but we do see that we are seeing that UNLV is trying to actually.
But what's going on in Valpo's base? That's my question right now. What's going on?
We're trying to chase.
What's happening?
And UNLV is just able to walk this through and do some pretty major damage. Super Bear is going to find a kill on Poppy. Orn is going to be taking a lot of tower damage here. Varus trying to find something, but not going to be able to. DNF low, having to burn, not have to just use his E. Law healing him.
Oh my God, Orn just half health that tower.
But we are going to see that Super Bear is going to go in trying to get Jace, or Orn, but not being able to find either of them. He is going to pull the Varus to them. And Karthus is going to slay the Seraphine. We see Super is trying to find the final dregs onto Karthus. Not going to be able to find
chase him. Chase him, DNM.
But Super is going to look. Jace is trying to end.
What's going on?
Jace has to be.
What is going on?
Oh my gosh! A lot just happened. Valpo fans. Valpo's base is in absolute tatters. It's not, the Nexus has not been broken yet. But if you are a Valpo fan, you need to be seeing one of your 3 laners utilizing Red Ward in order to prevent a back door from happening. But no, so much stuff just happened there. I know you were talking about that Diadem had died somehow.
The Karthus is using magical ancient sorcery to kill people like 20 seconds after he damaged them.
I'm like, I'm not missing, because like there's not, Baleful Torch does like its burn damage, but that's only for 3 seconds. There's no execute, there's nothing like too crazy. But Valpo and UNLV are going to be keeping us here for at least 35 minutes, as we see at the end, as we are going to see that Valpo, even though with a 5k gold deficit, is going to continue to stay in this game, as Baron is going to be the next objective that is up for both teams. We see that Infernal Soul will be up in just around 3 minutes, and that is soul point for either. That will be soul point for either team. Vector, what do you? I know a lot of stuff just happened, and I kind of took over the comms for a second. What do you have to say about everything that kind of just happened?
I don't know. That was crazy. That whole fight was just like, I didn't know what was going on. How has Subaru not died this game? I mean, he's playing the perfect game. Like that's oh boy.
We are going to see the Varus Karthus double ult here. Trying to chunk out Valpo here. Jakimba was already on his way back, so it doesn't really matter to him. But we are going to see that the 4 members of Valpo are going to be there. Dreadful having his TP that he's going to be using here. Orin will be a tiny bit late to this team fight if he does not TP soon. Poppy is going to try to find ult, but is not going to be able to find anyone. Super Bear is deep in.
He has no passive, so he's going to be going down. Diadem gets found by the Ornn ult.
Dreadful is in the middle, the Aurora ult being used to try to chunk them. Jakimbo is low. Ornn is still at full health. The Law nearly dead. Law is gonna unfortunately get picked up, but Jakimbo is gonna find his own pick onto the Poppy, making this a 3-2. Diadem is so low. He's trying to escape. He is burning Flash here. But he's going to get found out by the Ornn Flash Rock. And with that being said, Jakimbo is the sole survivor. Remember, trying to chunk out Varus, being able to do a lot of damage, but not being able to fully find everything.
Here comes the TP from the Jace. This could be it for the beacons. This is going to be tough.
I don't know. We don't know how long the inhib has. Jakimbo is really trying. Ornn is going to try to knock up, but it's not going to be able to find it. But he is going to be able to knock it down. And with that being said, the first game of UNLV does go to them, making the start of this series 0-1 not in favor of Valpo Esports.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just slipped a little bit early to the late game comp that University of Nevada, Las Vegas was playing. We're looking at the damage charts here. Karthus's damage that game is absolutely ridiculous. I think Valpo's going to be banning Karthus next game. I don't think we're going to let that through, because it wasn't even like, oh, Valpo's feeding Karthus. It's Karthus is pressing R and kind of leeching off everybody else who dies, and then you get just so far ahead. But we're going to go to break now, and we'll be back in a couple minutes with Game 2 of our series versus University of Nevada, Las Vegas. we are back. Our teammates didn't tell us that they had started drafting. So we just have this draft here to analyze.
Looks like a pretty fun one from uh, picking bands on both sides. You see UNLV, the Syndra. Didn't like the Aurora from last game, so they got rid of it, and the Camille to start with, and then the Yone also didn't like that from last game, and the Nautilus once again. Valpo responds with the Draven, the Udyr, and we see the Karthus ban, as expected. We were kind of theorizing it because he was kind of a monster in the lane. Um, it was going to be a bit of a problem. But we see the Poppy, and I'm kind of surprised that the Ornn pick. Didn't really feel like the Ornn did a lot for UNLV that game, but I guess again, just like being just a pure damage sponge is what Ornn's supposed to
I
do.
mean, it helps them scale harder. That was a big thing last game, and I think they don't want to see it again with Ashe, Fiddlesticks, and Tristana on the enemy team. Like, you don't want those champions scaling any harder than they already do.
Fair, I can agree to that.
Renekton top is interesting into the Aatrox.
I don't know how I feel about that, Chief.
I don't know. Very feast or famine. This is going to be either won or lost by 20 minutes, I think.
No, no 50-minute game this time.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
But looking at the rest of the picks, we do see Diadem on the Ziggs. Will probably be on the Ziggs. Jakimbo on the Corki, Super Bear on Zac, and the Law on Thresh. So also Valpo going for a kind of a pretty decent scaling too, because again Thresh with his infinite souls. But yeah, the Aatrox, the Rel, the Tristana, Fiddle, Ashe. Again, Valpo is going to need to have amazing vision here to counter the Fiddlesticks. Because again, especially in like the Baron Pit and Dragon Pit, if Fiddlesticks is able to get a 5-way fear, it's kind of Jover. With that being said, Ashe has a decent pick, but Ashe's decent pick potential. Aatrox good overall skirmish. Rel for that good drag into, so Rel could actually drag them into all a decent. Rel can position herself, alt them, so then they also get chain alted by Fiddle. But with that being said, Vector, do you have anything else to kind of talk about for this draft? I feel like
Thresh is interesting. It's pretty nice to kind of keep Ziggs out of some dangerous situations. Reminds me of when we had that German exchange student last year whose Thresh was crazy. But he's no longer here, so I think the Law is going to try and kind of channel his spirit here in this game.
Channel Shadow Spark, was it?
I believe that it was Shadow Spark.
I forget on what his non-gamer name is.
It was David.
David. But with that being said, for those of you in Streamland, we will be back in just around 2 minutes for the second game of UNLV versus Valpo. 1 to UNLV, 0 to Valpo. Catch you soon, Beacons.
All right, and welcome back to our second game of our NECC series versus University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Let's get the spectator overlay pulled up for you.
Should be.
Just need the timer out of here. There we go. Good.
Right.
You see that Mike has not purchased a potion yet again.
Mike
Maybe
doing.
he's on to something.
Mike has found the new meta. We are gonna see though that we are gonna see though that we are gonna see the 5-man stack from Valpo here. Valpo is the red side this time instead of the blue. And it does look like that they are just gonna that looks like there was the conversation of a possible engage, and it's not really gonna go anywhere. But that being said, ooh, I was gonna say we're gonna see a pretty heavy AD team. I'm gonna see a pretty heavy AD team with Aatrox, Tristana, and Ashe all buying Doran's blade. A Fiddle will be their only source of ability power.
I mean, you got Fiddlesticks. That's kind of all the AP you need. That chimp doesn't really do a whole lot other than AP damage. Press R, nuke everyone.
Does look like we're gonna have some fun cause, and Dedum is gonna find the pick out. Is trying to find the pick out in the bush. Dreadful looks like is gonna try to do something here, but not have too much success, as they are gonna Valpo's bot lane is gonna look once again to kind of be on the slower end of receiving their level 2. Jakimbo is gonna be level 1, and he is gonna get found here, doing some pretty major damage. Dreadful is gonna hit his level 2 and start going to do some major trades with Aatrox here. Doing some major damage here. Aatrox is able to find took his E and is able to find the Q3E center hit on Dreadful, doing a significant chunk of damage. And with Dreadful, with Diadem hitting level 2, we are going to see though that a lot of damage is going to be done on Diadem. Ashe is trying to do a lot. Not being able to find, Law isn't able to find the hook onto the Rel, but not just not be able to do too much right now. With that being said, that we are seeing Dreadful's just kind of really big lane dominance right now. As again, he is able to do a lot of damage here. We'll see the Tristana bomb doing a pretty sizable chunk to Jakimbo here. But Dreadful is looking like to manage this wave pretty nicely to force it to crash and to get off a decent cheater recall. All right, Vector, what do you if Valpo needs to be successful here, what do they need to do?
Early place top lane. Like, you have to get Aatrox ahead, or he's just not gonna do anything. And that's just the way it is.
You mean Renekton ahead?
Oh yeah. But I mean, he's kind of doing it himself. There he goes.
And Dreadful is gonna be able to solo bolo down the solo bolo and do some major damage. We are gonna see though that the Tristana is maybe looking. Jakimbo is gonna take a lot of damage here. Gonna be forced to have to is gonna be forced to back here. We're gonna see that the Law does have to burn flash here in order to prevent a kill. We are gonna see that the Super is going to jump in here against the Tristana. Tristana does have her W up, so she's not gonna have to flash out. And Diadem is gonna delay the Fiddlesticks back by a few seconds. Oh, Jakimbo melting Tristana and forcing the Tristana flash, and with Tristana not having TP, this is going to be a pretty decent push from Valpo, as the first dragon does look to be up relatively shortly. We see that Valpo is going to be backing to get their own Bambi Cinders. Aatrox trying to get some major damage on Dreadful. A lot of it being Dreadful taking a pretty sizable chunk from Aatrox there. But again, I think that with the CS difference, Dreadful will hit level 6 first. So all is well, especially with both laners not needing a second, or I guess Dreadful needs Fury, but like, you don't need Fury if that makes sense. It's not required. It just helps your abilities do a lot better. And it does look like we're gonna have some comms going down for a potential dive and counter dive. Yep, Fiddle trying to find something onto Zach here. Renekton does hit level 6 first, but Aatrox probably is not far away from that. It does look like he might just be trying to back. That bush is warded. And with Fiddle is now back in the midwave.
That's a classic Ziggs escape right there. Just jump with the little satchel.
We are gonna see though that we're gonna see Ziggs TP, and we're gonna see that Zac and Thresh are on Grubs. Fiddlesticks is right in that top bush. He is not responding. Is that necessarily the wisest thing to be doing here, or is this a full preparation? Never mind. It shows on the minimap. It shows on the minimap that Fiddle is there when Fiddle's actually in the bot lane. The effigy getting me in the casting booth as well.
Confusing, isn't it?
Confusing time is confusing.
Uh-oh.
Fiddle doesn't have 6 yet. He can't do enough damage to kill Diadem here, at least without a pretty extended fight. But we are gonna need to see Diadem again being slightly lower. Ooh, that little bit of extra damage onto a little bit of extra damage here. It is a 3v4. Valpo cannot look for a full engage here. Dreadful is gonna look to use his E as a way to do some more damage here. Dreadful is taking some pretty significant chunks of damage himself. And again, while Renekton is an amazing champion, just doesn't have that much healing.
Super Rare is much closer in farm to Mike than last game, which is good to see.
It's good to see if you're a Valpo fan. It does look like Zach was looking for potential engage there, but is just gonna look for more camps instead, which again, really good thing. Ooh. Dreadful is taking some pretty major damage there. Dreadful does look like he pops all, according to the minimap here, to survive. We are going to see, though, that Dragon is going to be started up by UNLV here. Jakimbo pinging that his laner is missing, but Valpo doesn't have any way to respond to this. As Dragon does look like it is going to fall to UNLV, giving them a Hextech Dragon, which relatively strong dragon to be given, as a lot of these champions love to see the extra ability haste or attack speed.
Oh, that's rough.
Just Envision's just able to find the pick on Jakimbo there and give Tristana the time that she needed in order to be able to reset and kind of get back in the game. Jakimbo had her at over about 20 CS, but now that she's able with the kill, gonna be able to do a lot more. We also do see the double cull angle come out from UNLV.
That's kind of interesting. I think it's good on those marksmen, especially into the mages, where you can really safely farm pretty much all the time. I think that's the logic there, is both of them are not really into traditional laners you would see versus a marksman, so that's why they have the cull.
But with the cull being completed, or not completed, with the cull being worked on by both teams, that is going to be a pretty decent gold influx for them once they both hit 100 CS farmed. Again, something that was a little interesting is the Aatrox had backed, which he definitely needed to, but the minions were doing so much damage to the tower that he actually missed out on a plating there. It was actually being somewhat pretty safe from Dreadful not being able to get it. We are going to see that it looks like Valpo is going again to be playing around their 6 Void Grubs. And while it was great for them last game, especially with Yone being able to get Yone was able to get so much chip damage off that tower done. Oh, we are going to see a potential Zac engage? No, engage. And with, it looks like Rel trying to claim vision for themselves here. It does look like Super Bear might be losing one of his camps, but at the cost of them being able to get Void Grubs, as we see Fiddle's in the bottom half of the map, so not going to be able to respond. Not going to be able to respond to them for a little while. I say because Dreadful hasn't also seen a lot of ganks, we are seeing that Aatrox is starting to be able to fight off Dreadful a little bit easier. Diadem needing to back up here. Diadem does get found, and a lot of abilities being used there to help to ensure that that kill was gotten. I think the Fiddle might have been a little much.
It's tricky for Dreadful right now because Aatrox has that steel caps, which reduces a lot of
But we are going to see
Renekton's damage potential.
we are going to see the flash come out from. We're going to see the flash all come out, and it's just not enough. As Valpo will pop 2 ults in response. In order to kill Aatrox, and that is going to be our first objective. That is going to be our first bounty up of the game so far. We're going to see that Dreadful taking a little bit of tower damage here. Is going to be looking to shove out that wave as fast as possible. Probably looking to get that second plating before backing with easily first item. No, he realizes. I think he realizes that the laners are missing. That Rel and Fiddle haven't been seen for a while. And so he's just going to take his back. That should be first item for him. And he's now ahead such a significant amount that the game is going to give him his objective bounty of around 150 gold. With that being said, though, we are going to see though that UNLV is going to be up right around 500 gold here. That gold lead lighting to probably about 1,000 here shortly as Tristana and Ash are going to finish their items. Specifically, we are going to see here, though, that that Ash's CS lead to Diadem is going to be growing by quite a wide margin here. She's actually finished Essence Weaver and almost finished Cull, and she has her slightly magical footwear here. While Diadem only has his magical footwear. We are seeing Super Bear is going to be up at the top side again. Trying to look for another gank.
That's what you got to do. Is you got to get this Renekton ahead. Oh, I wish that Dreadful had Ignite.
It would have done a lot, but Super Bear is going to be able to get back up here with not a lot of worry. Dreadful is going to be going in here.
Use that empowered W. Yep, there we go. Oh god, Diadem is just getting smacked by these arrows while Super Bear's top lane. And, like, you gotta get your Renekton ahead a little bit, but he's got 3 kills now. Like, we need some attention bot lane.
Yes, Renekton has now made sure that he has a staying power in this game for a long while. Actually being able to get 4 plating, might even be able to get all 5 of them done. We are seeing Jakimbo is going to start chunking out the Tristana pretty significantly. The Law is going to throw down the ultimate here, trying to ensure, and the Law is at least going to take down the Rel, and the Rel is going to take Rel is going to give a slight extra gold over to the Law here. We are seeing that Dragon is started up by UNLV, but it does look like that they are just going to back off of it and give it to Valpo. Giving Valpo a much-needed Mountain Soul here, just giving a little bit of extra damage to them. And we are going to see that it is Chemtech Soul. So extra heal shield power and extra tenacity. Not kind of wanted by at least 2 members of either, wanted by both members of either team.
I mean, that's good on Rel, Aatrox, Zac, Renekton. Does Thresh have a shield?
Thresh,
does, right?
The tiny shield with a lantern, right?
Yeah.
So overall, good Dragon for Valpo, but also a good one for UNLV, which means that both sides are going to be wanting to fight over that pretty well. Dreadful does have to be careful here, as there are some pains for a potential collapse going in on Dreadful here. We are to see the Ash ult. The Ash ult does not find purchase.
Yeah, I would have left after the Ash ult. Oh my goodness gracious.
And we're seeing the Jakimbo TP here.
I think that was a little bit trigger happy of Jakimbo to teleport there.
It was, especially because if that fight was going bad, that could have been a really easy 2v4 given. Or they were preparing for Rift Herald. They were overly aggressively ready for Rift Herald. So with this being said, though, we are going to see that the Tristana is going to trade to be the ADC for a while. Ashe did finish her call, and Tristana is only 3 CS away from finishing hers. With that being said, the gold difference now is completed, making this game pretty much just about even. Only Valpo having just around a 300 gold lead. We are seeing though that Renekton now's bounty is increasing yet again a little bit more at around 280. We are seeing that the Law is able to find the Rel out of position. We are seeing Superbear try to go in. The Rel does have the flash, and we're seeing the flash from Superbear, the flash from Ashe, trying to ensure that they don't get grabbed for the CC. That was overall again a good play from Valpo. 1 flash for 2.
And that was a good flash from Super Bear there. Kind of force out the Ashe flash, or you're both gonna die. Oh, whoa! I mean, well-timed flash from skillful champion as well to escape that Ziggs bomb. Valpo's gonna take Herald though.
Valpo's gonna take Herald, and they will have to send somebody bot lane. Either probably Renekton will clear that top wave and then TP towards that bot side, or you could even TP towards that turret if Tristana stays there. But it does look like that wave will just get pushed up. Oh, Jakimbo is on his way, it looks like. Is on his way there. Oh! The Fear are doing a lot of damage here, but not being able to chunk Jakimbo to about 40%. Again, not fully being able to find anything here. But Mike is gonna start being relatively scary, but again, since he wasn't able to get that full kill, not nearly as worrisome as you might have otherwise expected.
That's a crazy amount of damage from pressing 2 buttons from Fiddlesticks there.
That is the long fear. The long fear allowing you to get that E or get the ultimate damage in and get the W damage in as well is really good. But Valpo fans, as we kind of wait here for a second, for those of you in the chat, throw down what your favorite champion in League of Legends is. We haven't done a little question ask in a hot second. So if you want to throw down your favorite character in League of Legends, give us. We'd love to hear it. Vector, what's your absolute favorite League champion?
That's too easy of a question. It's Nunu and Willump.
The boy and his Yeti?
Yep. Not even close.
What's your favorite skin on him then?
Well, I have all of them, so it's hard to choose among my favorites.
Well, I have to make it hard for you somehow.
I don't want to say Nunu and Willump bot because I feel like that's the easy answer, just because it's a legendary skin. But if I wasn't choosing Nunu and Willump bot, probably Papercraft.
Thank you, fellow. And I Papercraft is from his skins my favorite. Even though the Fright Night one actually looks pretty.
Yeah, I got the Fright Night one. It's all right. I just think the zombie Nunu is a better Halloween skin than the Fright Night.
I can agree to that. Favorite champions notwithstanding, we are going to see that Valpo is going to be pressuring this third dragon of the game. Aatrox is going to be able to take topside. Tower here, but UNLV is not really looking to be able to do anything, or not being able to look to fully respond. We are going to see the Ziggs all being used to wave clear to prevent Ashe from getting that mid tier 1 tower. But overall, again, Valpo is slightly in a gold deficit, but again, making up for in those stats, we do see that Jakimbo does need to move out of the way for that Tristana. That Tristana doing an absolutely absurd amount of damage to him.
That's with one item. That is like, yeesh.
Yeah, and with her having 165 gold and 2 kills, I think we're gonna see on her back, we're gonna see a second item completed. We are going to see Jacimbo, though. Jacimbo's collector is available, and now he has is up. He has boots of swiftness with his Hearthbound axe. We're going to probably see at least major second or third component for Jacimbo here on his next back. Probably full second item here. But Jacimbo keeping in line with the Ash for actually a perfectly tight amount of CS from both sides. Super Bear, though, doing a lot better in the jungle this game, no longer being down on a pretty significant chunk of CS.
I mean, Baron's up. Next dragon in 3.5 minutes. Ash is going to be a little off with the arrow. That certainly would have led to Jacimbo's death if it had hit.
But it does look like Tristana is just going to melt down the tower, is what Tristana does well. We haven't really... Ziggs hasn't had the ability to, like, fully go in and do a lot yet.
Yeah.
We do see... Alright, we do see... Oh.
I mean, Valpo just doesn't have, like, the sustained damage in this team fight like Las Vegas does. Because, like, 2 marksmen is a lot more consistent damage than 2 mages. Because we consider Corki a mage, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's... It's almost like a Hui, it feels like, an APC mage.
Yeah, so 2 mages, 2 tanks, and a bruiser is a low damage team comp.
Valpo is going to have to be communicating this very clearly about what they want to do next, as UNLV is going to take this opportunity to get their vision and ducks all in a row here, preparing for Baron.
Somebody needs to get in Herald.
Looks like Super is now piloting. He has the Super is in the driver's seat as Ziggs is able.
That was like a surgical operation. Like, get in there. Max range Ziggs. Oh. Himbo's on the run.
Well, Jacimbo is going to have to flash here because of the exploded bomb does give Tristana another W proc. Excuse me. We're going to see Jacimbo. Looks like he's just going to wait in the bush. Be a patient one, but we are going to know that Tristana does have the ability now to just do a really big amount of damage here. And with that, UNLV has the Fiddle Effigy and the Rel up in place, trying to get ready for what looks like it'll be a potential Baron play. We see some big purchases come out from both sides. Jacimbo does end up with his second full item now of Trinity Force, but Ash does immediately respond with her IE. We are seeing, though, the Dreadful is going to look to go in here as he's got a lot of people here. Super Bear is here, but it's too little. It's too little, too late. As even though he's stunned here, just hopping around, the law is going to provide him an out, but he's going to get silenced and feared. Probably not going to be able to find. He's not going to be able to find his full way out of this one. And with that being said, this is going to be Valpo's. I think this is going to be UNLV's opportunity now, with 2 members of Valpo down.
Top lane
to
down,
take Baron.
Jungler down. This is going to be a Baron for Nevada.
Nevada's looking to melt down this Baron pretty good. We do have the Ziggs for a potential clutch. Ultimate here if he wants to try to negate it. We're not going to see it going out, and we are going to see that is going to be the Baron down. That's going to give a lot of extra pressure to Tristana here.
Yeah.
Able to push, and especially with her Navori Flicker Blades, just gonna make things a lot harder for them. Valpo is now down just around 5,000, just around like 4,700 gold here. And we are going to see Jacimbo is going to respond by taking that wave. And it does look like that UNLV is going to set up with their own dragon. We're going to see that Dreadful is just going to get feared. Jacimbo trying to go in here, but we're just going to see him getting spaced out. Ash Arrow not going to be able to find purchase. Super Bear is in deep. Dreadful trying to do a lot of damage here. Super Bear does. Super Bear does go down. Dreadful is nearly able to find Malk, but just a tiny bit too late. Diadem is going to get caught up by the Tristana, giving him another round of resets. And that is a net positive for UNLV once again, widening the gold lead to just around 5,500. Jakimbo and the Law are going to try to prevent the siege, but not enough is going to be able to be done. Fiddle's going to be able to take the Chemtech Dragon here. But that is going to cost UNLV a decent bit of time from their Baron buff, only lasting for now about 1:30 left.
Yeah, it's rough. I think this is that last fight was a prime example of the kind of marksman gap I was talking about earlier, because Valpo needs to play these fights slow, because all our damage comes from mages who do damage with their abilities on cooldown. But if Las Vegas just chooses to kind of jump on top of Valpo and remove that time that we have, then we can't fight them, because we get everybody uses their abilities, they're down, and then nobody does any more damage. Especially, I think it's a little bit unfortunate that our top lane looks like that. Zach Renekton less so, especially Zach, is just super strong engage. That's kind of like the main thing I would say Zach is useful for, is engage. And I think some more conditional engage would be better than Zach here for this kind of team comp.
I do. I think a J4 here.
Yeah, J4. I mean, I would.
Oh.
Thresh is technically a ranged champion. So Sejuani would be a little rough. Renekton Sejuani is absolutely insane though. So like maybe we swap to Nautilus instead of Thresh and then pick Sejuani. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done.
I think the idea was to use Nautilus here, but they've banned it. RMC Super is in pretty deep, but Ash does need
just missing from Jakimbo.
yeah,
This is a big rocket though. This is a red one.
Oh, we are gonna see Super Bear is gonna be down here. Funneling 726 gold here. We're gonna see that Spirit has come out from Fiddlesticks here. C-Can is not gonna be able to survive this. We are gonna see though that Tristana is able to take the top side, but that was a really good siege.
That was big. That was big for Valpo.
That was what you needed to get back into the game, kind of reversing the goal lead to just around 5,000. You're going to see that Diadem is going to be in. Diadem and the Law are going to push up that mid wave, allowing for that second turret to be broken. Just again giving a lot of extra gold back in the hands of Valpo that they desperately need. Tristana is going to see Renekton here.
Oh yeah. Damn. Dreadful kind of got stuffed there. Going for the engage. Get knocked back and get shot like 100 times. Uh-oh. It's going to smack somebody in the face. Yep.
Hit the Law. The Law getting Ash ulted, just slowing his return back to base. We're going to see though that Jakimbo is going to start trying to... Jakimbo's Rocket's doing a pretty decent chunk of... nice chunk of change. But definitely not the true one-hit kill wonder quite yet that he needs to be. We are going to see that Aatrox is in Super Bear's jungle here, and with Diadem nearby, it is going to force Aatrox to pop ult in order to disengage that fight. However, there are no objectives for that fully to be able to be used. But it looks like Aatrox ult will be up just in time for the next Baron play.
I mean, this is an incredibly low kill game. 11-7.
At 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's low kills, but the problem for Valpo is all our gold is focused pretty much on our Renekton, and Renekton drops off like a rock around now.
Renekton, and we also had Jakimbo get a pretty decent bit in. Oh, we got to be careful here. We see the bomb. We see the bomb come in from Super Bear here, trying to look like to survive. We are going to see Mulk throw down. Is going to use the Zanyas here. But Super Bear is not. Super Bear just isn't going to die here as Jakimbo is now getting funneled the gold that they absolutely need.
I mean, they're fighting without their Tristana too much. Tristana is probably the strongest member of Nevada's team right now.
She is, especially that 500 gold bounty, definitely looking pretty delectable if you're a Valpo fan. But we're gonna look Super Bear here, kind of. Super Bear is
Does
in
Super
deep.
Bear just get killed by the Aatrox here?
I don't think
No, he
so.
doesn't. The
The
team's
blobs, the blob difference.
He doesn't have him up right now.
Oh, but we are gonna see the dash, and Aatrox does have the ultimate just in time for this fight.
Renekton's gonna keep him safe.
And it does look like Tristana is going to trade that mid tier 2, or the bottom side tier 2, but for Baron, that's a
Tristana
blue.
might take an inhib here, to be honest.
We see Jakimbo going to respond. So I don't think we're going to see that, but again, without Jakimbo, very little Baron damage is actually being done here. And we are going to see that inhib turret is going to get destroyed, but I don't know, 2 turrets for a Baron, worth it in my mind?
Depends how they use the Baron. If we can get some good value out of the Baron, then yeah, it'll be worth it. But we'll only be able to tell if the Baron was worth it in about a couple minutes. But Valpo is also going to lose a dragon for this Baron,
which is going to put UNLV on soul point for Chemtech. So again, which would be an absolute monster of a threat to give to Fiddlesticks.
Yeah.
See the Fiddlesticks and Aatrox, just because Fiddlesticks can throw down his Zanyas and just do the 11% increased damage if he's under 50%. Same with Aatrox. Aatrox thrives where his health is getting fluctuated a lot. And so with that being said, if that Chemtech Soul is able to occur to go to UNLV, that's going to be a really uphill battle for Valpo, especially because they need fights to be prolonged. They're not trying to OTK. They're not trying to just burst down their opponents with one hit.
I mean, we need some kills on Diadem. Really badly, I think.
We need kills on Diadem. We need to continue to see more kills on Jakimbo. If Valpo can get even like a 1 or 2, a good pick here, that would be absolutely amazing. And I think that could actually it would change the trajectory. It would secure Valpo's victory here if Super is able to get a really good engage here. Could change it. We are going to see though the Aatrox and Dreadful are going to have their skirmish to the top side, which is not going to necessarily allow for either of them to go. We are going to see a 1-4 be used in response. There is no wave for them to push up right now. And it does look like that they might be collapsing onto. They're going to be collapsing on the Dreadful here. The Ash ult does find purchase here. Jakimbo trying to.
Oh, big ult from Diadem.
Jakimbo is able to survive. Dreadful is going to be able to pop the plant to heal. Jakimbo is flashing. We're going to see that. We're going to see the Aatrox getting a lot of healing. Tristana able to find the final pick onto the Zac. Jakimbo is going to be able to find the pick though on Aatrox, making that a 2-1 engage. However, we do see that a lot of Valpo is low here against the Tristana, which could spell some doom. But again, a good engage, helping to again shrink that gold lead. But again, we have the Baron play right now, and they lost 2 towers for it, and we aren't seeing that much game progression get used here. Except we're seeing Tristana take a lot of Super Bear's camps here. Super Bear's CS falling pretty significantly now towards Mulk. And as Apple iPhone decides to join in on the fun, I know it's what do we need to see here, Vector, for Valpo to take this game 2 as a win?
Yeah, I mean the gold lead's shrinking. That's good. I think Valpo needs to not give up this soul. They need to take this because Chemtech passive is more tenacity and damage at low health, right? If you're a Fiddlesticks, that's pretty darn good. Like, they start hurting you, your ult does more damage. That's the problem. Dreadful goes down. He'll just be spawning when it's about a minute left to Dragon, so he'll have a good respawn timer. That's pretty nice. We're seeing Dreadful go into tank items. You kind of see that usually at the end of Renekton's build path is like a tank item or 2. Choosing to go for some...
Oh, Super's got to be careful here. Super has to take the Lantern here in order to be able to get out of that fight. Again, Thresh. We got to be... Yeah, the Valpo has no damage here to help with this fight. Aatrox is here. That they do again. They got to be careful. Super
Oh
has to be
no, he got
careful.
hit by the arrow.
We're gonna see the lantern though.
Oh my god, the lanterns.
The lanterns are saving Super Bear right now, but the problem is
Wow! That damage! It's like she is demolish.
Tristan, I think with Demolish right now would be a nightmare. We are gonna see that we're gonna see that Super Bear is gonna be trying to back here, but we're gonna see that that's not gonna be able to be held too successfully here. Jakimbo is forced to still stay top in order to respond to Tristana, but Tristana has 4 items now. That we're gonna look at that's gonna be the end of the inhibitor turret, and Jakimbo's gonna be taking a lot of damage. Super Bear needing to help out with Jakimbo there. Tristana gained the shutdown, but she's not gonna be able to escape. As Thresh is gonna be able to find the shutdown. Malk is gonna find the pick on Diadem, and Dreadful is gonna get stunned by the Ash ult. Aatrox is ulted to try to do damage himself. And there's a lot of things that are happening right now, but we are going to see that the Law is surviving on just a fraction of the HP, but unfortunately he is going to fall, and so is the Law. And with Zach's passive being popped, that is going to be an ace in Valpo's base.
Is the game over?
It is. There's not going to be anyone up yet.
They just walked out through the base from bot lane. What a strange way for this series to come to an end.
And with that being said, as the Nexus is breaking, this is going to be the end of the series tonight. Valpo falling to UNLV 0-2 in now pretty far deeply into the conference. Vector, what do you have to say about that game?
I mean, that was like blink and you'll miss it. The game's all of a sudden over. That I was getting ready for an even longer game than last time. I thought we were super close to that one, but see, I guess that just goes to show how quickly things can go south in the League of Legends games. You can go from pretty even to your base is gone in about 2 minutes or less.
Yeah, definitely. Valpo definitely has some more kinks to work out with this game, but overall, again, a really good series played from Valpo's and keeping themselves into the fight until the very last second and continuing to help funnel gold and have good communications on who they need to fight. Just again helping. It's now no longer just making sure it's there; it's having that fine tuning that needs to happen. Vector, anything else to say about this series before we end it out?
I think you pretty much covered it all.
All right, so with that, Beacons, we will catch you guys tomorrow for I know that for another game for another League of Legends game at 7 p.m. So with that being said, thank you again for tuning in. I'm Monsieur, and
I'm Vector.
And thank you guys again for tuning in to us this Tuesday evening. And we'll see you tomorrow with another stream. And go Beacons.